Next up, we have Don Chevoya, the author of Trapper's Grounding. Trapper Grounding is a fiction novel in which a middle school boy sets in motion something big when he buries a tesserapod in the woods of northern Michigan, leading him to find unexpected answers in his search for connection and truth. So what was your inspiration for writing this book?
Okay. I think it was around 12 years ago on a long road trip to Ontario that I took every summer with my daughter and her family. Well, my two oldest grandsons wanted me to tell them a story, so I told them this kind of weird story, and it never had an ending. Well, 12 years later, I have this, and it's totally, well, some of the elements of that first story makes its way into this book, but there's an awful lot more added.
Great. So tell us the sub-theme that runs throughout the book.
Right. It's kind of strange. At the beginning of every chapter, I have a quotation about some aspect of the fifth kingdom fungi, and it might be pronounced fungi, or fungi. I don't know. I've looked it up and studied it, and I don't think a lot of people know. But one thing I learned about fungi is that it's totally fascinating, but probably the main characteristic of fungi is that it has the ability to survive in very bad conditions and environments. And I started to see a parallel between my main character and fungi. So I kind of wove that thread throughout the book.
That's a cool connection. So what is your favorite part of the book? And will you read us a bit?
No. I'm not
what's
going
the
to
part you read for audiences?
Okay, I always end up reading chapter 15 when I read to an audience. And I like the chapter because it's where my main character, Brennan Trapper, discovers what his parents have been hiding from him his whole 13 years of life.
Wow.
And that's that his biological father is buried in the cemetery where he hangs out after school.
Wow.
I like that chapter. Plus, the last chapter, I have to tell you this. My sister read the book and early on, and she told me that she cried at the last chapter, and I have to say that I have cried at the last chapter too, even though I wrote it. So I think it's a good read for anyone who has father issues.
So it sounds like a fun story, but a bit of a tearjerker too.
Yeah, maybe.
Thank you for being here today, Dawn.
Thank you. And I would like to mention my website, donchevoya.com, has links for teachers to classroom guide and school visits.
Great. Thank you so much.